Hey guys. Hey, our video is about translations, lesson 6.3. Okay. A translation is where the figure we're talking about slides across the coordinate plane. Okay, so if you see this triangle right here, I would be sliding it right or left, up and down. Okay, that's what we're talking about. Okay, that's a translation. It doesn't turn, it doesn't flip, it doesn't change sides. It points exactly the same way. It just moves. Okay, so let's say I took this triangle and moved it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 squares to the right and up 2 squares. Okay, I just did a translation. The image, our next vocabulary word, is the new shape after a transformation. Okay, now I'm including this vocabulary word in with translations, but it's also, you know, the image after a rotation, a reflection, dilation. It's whatever the new copy of the shape is. Now, this new shape that we just made, okay, we want everybody to know when we draw this that these two shapes go together, and that if this is A up here on top, then this point, we want to know that it goes to that point. So we're going to also label that with an A, but we need a way of knowing that this is the new A and that's not the new A. This is the new A. So we put this mark here that looks kind of like an apostrophe, and it's called a prime mark. Okay, so this is the new B, so we'll put a capital B with that prime mark. This is the new C, and we'll call that C prime. And that's how we say it: A prime, B prime, C prime. So prime mark is looks like an apostrophe. It's the mark next to the letter to show that it's an image. Okay. All right, so if we're going to perform a translation, we're looking in the directions for how we're supposed to do so. Right 4 and up 3. Okay, so if it says right 4 and up 3, and I'm going to erase this in a minute, but we have point A, okay, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes to the right, and 1, 2, 3 boxes up. And we're going to put a point there. We're going to label it as we go, because not labeling loses credit. So A, but I'm going to put a prime mark next to it to show that that's the new A. Okay. All right, let's do the same thing again, but starting from B, B. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes to the right, and 1, 2, 3 boxes up. I put a dot there and label that with a B and the prime mark. And we're going to do the exact same thing on C. 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right, and 1, 2, 3, and we're going to call that C prime. Okay, once I have all of my dots, and you do not have to do that highlighting I just did, okay? You can just sit there and count them out. Once you have all the dots, you connect them, and the triangle you make should look exactly the same as your original. Now, this is not too tough, guys. This is counting to numbers that are less than 10, because we don't have huge graph spaces, and it's a matter of knowing right, left, up, or down. That being said, you know, we've all can think of a time when, oops, I counted wrong. So if you get done with your translation and you look at the new triangle and it does not look like the old one, it's bigger, it's longer, it's fatter, it's skinnier, it's not facing the right way, anything that looks off to you is a signal, oh, I counted wrong. And just go back and count out each point again to see where you counted wrong. Okay, let's do another one. It says translate the following quadrilateral by moving, okay, left 3 and down 9. Okay, so I'm going to do this one without highlighting this time, but follow the pen as it goes on the screen. So I start with M, and it says left 3, so I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 boxes left, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 boxes down, and label as you go so that you do not forget. Especially when we do rotations, anybody who's not labeling as they go might not remember which dot represents which letter, and your shape is turned and it's not going to be as easy. Okay, O is 1, 2, 3 squares to the left, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 squares down. O prime. P, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. P prime. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. N prime. And once I have all the dots, you can connect them together. And the two shapes should look the same. Absolutely the same. Okay? So little things to help you is, gee, I noticed that from M to N is 4 squares across. 4 squares across, that matches up and it's flat. M to O is over 1 and down 3, over 1 and down 3. So looking at how your points line up with each other as well as their images will help you to catch mistakes. Okay, for example, if I had drawn, if this is 4 squares across here and my image had 5 squares across, that would let me know, oh, I did something wrong. Okay, so look for consistencies like that. Okay, now that's the back half of your homework. The front half of your homework is asking you to write a rule. Like they already did the translation. You have the original shape in the image, and they're saying, well, how did this happen? Which one, okay, is the original? That's the first question you have to ask yourself. All right, because it's very important that you start on the original shape. So how you can tell something is the original shape is it has no primes. This is my original because it has no primes on it. So all I have to do is pick one point on the original. I'm going to pick B. Doesn't matter which one you pick, but you pick B. And then you count to the image. Now be careful, make sure you're going to the same letter. Don't count from B to A prime, okay? They're not the same letter. You want to count to the same another way of saying it that's more proper would be the corresponding point on the image. Okay, so if I'm starting at B, my goal would be to end up at B prime because they're the same. They're the corresponding points. Now, very, very important also when I'm counting that right and left go first and up and down are second. That's not a coincidence. First, second, okay, and that's it's not going to seem so important now in 8th grade, but I'm building good habits for when you take geometry, and that's the order that it has to be when you take geometry. Okay, so I'm going right or left first. Well, if I want to get to B prime, I'm going to have to go to the right, so I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 squares to the right. So my rule would start right 8 and then put a comma and then 1, 2 squares down. Okay, so that is the rule that made that translation. Okay, now this one felt very natural to do because we moved to the right and we moved down. And that feels natural because we read from left to right and we move on the page when we're reading. We're moving from the top of the page to the bottom of the page. So that feels very natural. But that's not necessarily how you're going to count on all of your homework ones. Okay? The key here, and I wrote it at the bottom of this page, is the original shape is where you have to start. So on this diagram, the original is over here. How do I know? Because it has no primes. And you have to be careful. You absolutely have to check for that before you start counting, or you'll have all your directions at opposites. Okay? Going the correct direction is important. So I'm going to pick one of the letters. It doesn't matter. I'm going to pick F, and I'm headed toward F prime. Okay, so starting on this F. This feels awkward because I'm going backwards. I'm going right to left, but that's how you have to do it. Okay? And I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I went left 11 and then 1, 2, down 2. Okay, now on your homework you will not always have both directions. You might not have, you only might have a down 3, and that's it. Okay, if your shape does not move to the left or the right, you don't talk about to the left or the right. Okay, just say what the shape does, and remember that left and right come before up and down. Okay. Thanks for watching. See you next time.